Ah. I just noticed there's a zip code. How about that? Alrighty. Deadly Premonition. Find any side. It's 6:30. Fireworks are already going off. Come on now. What are we doing? Submission there. George. Go. And find Isaac and I. I've already forgotten. Okay. Up and right.
So, Zach, this case turned into a multiple homicide.
Reminds me of a movie.
What kind of motives turn a criminal into a serial killer? Is it hedonistic? Ritualistic? Copycat crime? Sex-related? Cannibalistic? From the Bureau's statistics. These interesting ideas don't always really explain the real motive. They're just words.
Actually, I should probably go to the
phrases
gas
that the
station
media
before
uses
I
to scare citizens.
talk to
The spotlight falls
Isaac and
on mere
Isaiah.
1% of all cases. Only the weird ones. You understand all this, right, Zach?
and checks
How
out.
bizarre a crime may appear to be, at the root, there is always rage and personal interest. Right, Zach? Most people simply don't kill for pleasure. But that kind of common sense never applies to our investigations. Maybe we're lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. We end up working on those cases in that 1%.
Hello.
Remember, Zach, the first case we handled, just after becoming a special agent? Now let's talk about this another time. I don't feel like it right now.
Gotta get some gas. Oh dear. Gas. Hey, there's Jack. Means we can give him money so we can get a side mission. Considering we have a lot of money. I don't know what... There's gonna be a money sink at some point.
Jack, here's the Ben Franklin you wanted.
Give it to me.
Benjamin Franklin.
Hey there, Benjamin. I wanted to talk to you. Have you heard this yet? I'll tell you another one when I see you again.
This video game is very weird.
Zach, did you see that?
Yeah,
It was as if
6:30.
we weren't here. I wonder what that was all about.
Stop with the
Did it make
files.
sense to you?
Not really. But I guess I need a dark gun somewhere. Oh, hey, there's Emily. Hi, Emily.
Do you remember? How many years ago was it now? That multiple homicide of young girls in that college town in Illinois. All the victims were cut open from the throat to the crotch. Ripped right open. During the autopsy, the second stomach was found inside the first victim's body. Of course, she didn't
odd.
naturally grow a second stomach. One of the stomachs belonged to someone else. As more victims piled up, there was one with 2 hearts, one with 2 livers, 4 lungs. Different organs each time. Of course, those extra organs didn't do the girls much good, right, Zach? And they say too much is never enough. In the end,
What?
we arrested a professor at the med school. They found the body of his daughter, dead, and the missing organs at his house. Do you remember what he said when we took him in? I was ordered to restore those deformed bodies back to normal. And remember who he said ordered him? An alien. Well, of course we couldn't arrest an alien, so we arrested the professor instead. Serial killers can't be caught by logic and common sense. I learned this the hard way. That first case taught me that. Since then, these cases just keep getting more and more complicated. It's a tough job. I thought getting experience...
Good.
Zach, we'll finish our chat later. Let's
I
take a
thought
walk
he was
around
done,
here.
but then he wasn't.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? We need to be at Carol's bar at 2200. Hey, Sigourney.
I'm glad you're here. My pot, it's getting cold. Please, let's get going.
Okay, no problem. By the way, what's in the pot?
Her shadow
Does
isn't
that
holding a
really
pot.
matter? Now let's get going. Hurry!
Once we get her home, Zach, let's ask her again.
Cold Pot 2! The sequel!
Pot harder?
Yep. Hot colder.
Now, get the car going. My house is over by the lake. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, where is your house? Tunnel. Okay. I think I want to just 180 and then hang right and like hey, away we go.
Why aren't we there yet? Could you slow
Lady,
on
we just started.
it? Slow, my pot is going to get cold.
Excuse me. Lady says her pot's gonna get cold if we don't hurry. Had to cut you off there.
This is not good. It's losing more and more of its warmth. At this rate, my pot is going to get cold. Hurry! Hurry! Step on it! Why do you have to drive so safely? Can't you see my pot is getting cold? Why aren't we there yet? Could you step on it?
Lady, we've just started.
My pot is going to get cold. This is not good. It's losing more and more of its warmth. quickly. Can't you see my pot is getting cold?
Oh god. Here we go. We did it. We saved the pot.
Oh, thanks to you, my pot is still warm.
So tell me, Sigourney, just what is in the pot?
You really want to know, don't you?
Yes, very much.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't tell you. The pot
Thanks, lady.
has to make that decision, not me.
Okay. Then I need to get to know the pot better first, right?
That's right. In life, you can't skip steps. You have to take one step at a time and take the proper steps. For all actions, there is a reaction. If you
Isaac Newton
ask
said
the
that.
the pot
Isaac Newton in the
will
pot.
answer. It's that simple.
There's truth to what you say.
Yes, the pot is full of truth. If
But you said you weren't
going to
tell me what was in the pot.
person you are searching for, you have to ask the pot. Listen carefully. The more steps it takes to cook a stew, the better it tastes when it's cooked.
I got her pot.
Oh my! My pot is getting cold again! Did you have to talk so long? Oh!
All right. Well, there's another side mission near the General, which is going to be a car upgrade, which I probably want. So let's go back and do that. Pardon me.
Zach, picking up from where we left off, do you remember? How many years ago?
Oh god, is he going to start this one from the beginning?
Multiple homicide of young girls in that college town in Illinois.
Thanks, York.
All the victims were cut open from the throat to the crotch. Ripped right open. During the autopsy, a second stomach was found inside the first victim's body. Of course, she didn't naturally grow a second stomach. One of the stomachs belonged to someone else. As more victims piled up, there was one with 2 hearts,
Ouch.
one with 2 livers, 4 lungs. Different organs each time. Of course, those extra organs didn't do the girls much good, right, Zach? And they say too much is never enough. In the end, they arrested a professor at the men's school. They found the body of his daughter, dead and missing organs at his house. Do you remember what he said when we took him in? I was ordered to restore those deformed bodies back to normal. And remember who he said ordered him? An alien. Well, of course, we couldn't arrest an
Talk
alien.
about an alien.
So we arrested the professor instead. Serial killers can't be caught by logic and common sense. I learned this the hard way. That first case taught me that. Since then, these cases just keep getting more and more complicated. It's a tough job. I thought getting experience while I was young would make the job easier.
We literally didn't skip anything. Dork, why'd you have to restart that one? Oh well. Hey, General.
You have potential, soldier. I want you to take a look around J10. I'll need high gear parts. They should be around there somewhere. If you can find them and bring them back to me, I'll be able to increase the top speed of your vehicle.
Now that sounds
Cool.
like a plan.
It's a fail-proof plan, soldier. You must learn to trust your superiors.
Around J10 then.
Your orders are clear. Now roll out.
Alright, J10. It's gonna be in a corner somewhere. Over there. Choo. Not that way. A10. There it is. Should have been called high frame rate parts, because then maybe this turntable would not be at a number of frames per second. Yep, high gear parts for you.
This is it. This will save your life someday, son.
What's the story this time?
Speed determines everything on the battlefield, life or death.
You're not going to tell me another story about stomach pains, are you?
Son, I told you already. Don't mock your superiors. It's a
Oh,
very
but it's so much
serious
fun.
story this time. It starts with a question. Why did we lose the battle? We had firepower and the air support in the beginning. But looking at the results of a war of attrition, we learned a lesson. We lacked speed when speed was needed. It was our superiors' fault. We should have carried out a swifter attack. That would have saved more of our soldiers. Although crybaby Timothy was doomed either way.
You really hated that sergeant, didn't you?
Don't talk to me with that tone, boy. Words cannot describe how much I hated him. I was at war with a crybaby. No one has enough lives to survive that. He poisoned us with our own food. Washed all our weapons with soap and water. Launched a signal flare thinking it was a firework. Set off countless traps laid by the enemy. More than half of the unit had to return home sick because of him.
I don't know how much of this to believe.
Believe as much as you like. I'll keep my side of the promise and get to work on your vehicle.
Well, if he hates that sergeant so much, why does he keep talking about him? And would a general really even have direct contact with a sergeant? Questions keep mounting.
I've increased your exhaust and optimized your higher gears. That means you can drive at a faster top speed. But there's still plenty of stuff I can do to make your car go faster. Just come see me again and I'll customize your car a little more.
Right. High gear parts. Isaac and Isaiah. Else I don't. Oh, George. George. You're needed, Speed. We lacked you when you were needed. I have to imagine the side quest is going to be the give me a flower so I can give you the radio that I have. Not mean to get into closer chase, but... Talk to George. George.
George, which do you prefer, mustard or hot sauce?
What?
You didn't come all the way to my house just to ask me that. You don't have other things you should be doing?
Of course I do. But I'm interested in you right now.
Interested? Agent Morgan, look, my mother is sick. If it's not urgent, I'd rather we did this later.
Is she very ill?
Well, I have to say, it doesn't look good.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that. Anything I can do?
No, this is a private matter. I can't ask for your help.
You know, back in D.C., people always came to me for personal advice.
People always
I'm here
came
to
to
help you
York
if
for
you like.
personal advice.
There's
That's
no
a
need for that, Agent Morgan. Please.
very questionable.
You need to...
Abide by the rules, right? Okay, I get it. I didn't mean to invade into your private matters.
Oh.
George, I just thought you could use a friend who wasn't a dumbbell.
Back when I
Boom.
was a kid, my mother really liked this flower.
Flower.
Yes. Small flower. No name. It grows somewhere here in Greenvale, although I must admit I've never seen it actually growing anywhere. I think it would make my mother happy if you could get her that flower.
George, that's good. Great idea. Every woman likes to receive flowers. You know all about that, right, Zach?
In any case, this is a personal matter. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the investigation.
Of course not, George. But I'm going to find that flower for you.
Maybe. I'm maybe gonna find that flower for you. If I can find a point where it's raining, and then I can come back and give it to you. Don't hold your breath. Alright. For... Well, that can be fixed. I feel like this car has suddenly gotten way more squirrely with,
This time of year. 3 years ago. Remember that?
the upgraded speed.
Yes, that's right. That one. Multiple homicide, same MO. Across Utah, Colorado, and Missouri. The victims were all average married housewives. But after being run over so many times by a car, they didn't
Well, it took a
care.
turn, York.
5 victims in 2 months in the 3 states. The way he killed them was always the same. But aside from that, there was nothing that linked the victims together. Well, they were all married. But age, race, nothing else matched up. Tire marks and fragments of paint ID'd the car that was used. That's where things got really tricky.
My
The
car.
perpetrator used a 1993 model Cadillac Elante as a weapon. It was registered in the name of one senator... No, I don't feel like talking about this anymore. That senator's basement. I wish I could forget what I saw there.
Yikes. Have fun reading about your homophily. I probably did not pronounce that right, but I ain't no sociologist. Fair. Oh, I can't. Hey, Keith. Look at him jam out. Hey, Keith, can you, like, call your kids and have them give me the side quests? I could definitely see that, considering this has come up not by name, but like with the GBP4A crew, we've stuck together for 8 years at this point because we are fans of a specific video game website, a specific video game, and then fighting game spin-off of a specific video game. Keith does have it good. Keith is maybe one of my favorite characters in this video game because he is the most janky. Can't talk to Izgan. Else fun. You give another 100 to Jack. Considering I have $11 billion. Oh yeah, Emily. Yeah, let's just hang out near the place and smoke. Bump. Because I'm out of side missions.
Let's focus on the case at hand. The murders with the red seeds. Officially, the Bureau has not made a statement about these seeds. Some even claim that they are irrelevant to the killings. But after the red seeds were found in a Boston homicide, I've been unable to get them out of my head. I've even gone through all of the files looking for similar cases.
That also makes sense.
And we found 7 other homicides related to the seeds. The victims were all young girls. And they were killed in 8 different states. They arrested all 7 murderers, but there was no connection between them. However, we must not overlook there was one thing linking the cases together, and that's the red seeds.
I have a hunch. This case here in Greenvale is going to lead us to the truth about those seeds. Don't you think so, Zach?
Well, let's just do what we can do and do our best. And by doing our best, I'm sure we'll get to where we need to go.
Alright.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
We need to be at Carol's bar at 20.
Not Matt. Smoke of the cigarettes. I should probably get him like, oh no. It's small. Emily, run!
Nick's still in the bar.
Just as we planned then. I wonder what happens next.
Agent York, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? I have to admit, I envy that.
Love to solve crimes. Oh, hey, it's raining.
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar.
What about Diane?
She isn't here tonight.
Emily, check that with George.
George, can you hear me? Nick's leaving the bar. What's happening with Diane?
How does George know he's at his house?
No movement. Tell me what to do here.
Stay put, George. I'm thinking Nick will head to the gallery. Let's meet up there.
10-4. Copy that.
I feel like you just repeated yourself a little bit there, George, but yeah.
Agent York, it's Nick.
God, I hate the rain. Oh, hey, Thomas.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's go. Okay. Time to play with the big boys, Nick.
WCW all of a sudden. Love to tailing mission. Oh yes. And failing missions in video games are the worst. Which sucks, because they should not be the worst. It should be kind of exciting, you know, thrilling. It's like, I get why people put tailing missions in the video games, because it's like, oh, you gotta make sure you figure out where someone's going, but you can't let them know that you know where they're going. But it's just like, it ends up being this, where they want you to stay an exact amount of space behind someone, which is not exciting gameplay. Because it's just me tapping this accelerator button and going about 20 miles an hour. I'm trying to think of like games with better than average tailing missions, and like the only one I can kind of think of is like LA Noire, sort of. It's just not. Playing the car music, I think, in the background of the rain. Unless they took it out of the director's cut, which, I don't know. I guess the thing about tailing missions that I would do if I ever made a video game with a tailing mission in it is like the idea that someone is staying like exactly X yards behind you is the most suspicious thing. So like I would have it be like the amount of space you're supposed to be in between the person you're tailing would be different and like change periodically. And like if you stayed on the same path for too long behind them, they would notice, so you'd have to like start to take slightly different paths. And I'd make it less like, oh, they spotted you, that's bad. Because if they don't know who you are, they can spot you all day long and still you're fine. So like maybe make a section where like they're walking at a crosswalk and they stop because they need to go somewhere. Oh yeah, that's another good one. Is the MGS4 one. Yeah. Like make one bit where like you have to walk past them and then figure out some way to like alter your path now that you're in front of them so that you can still keep a track on where they are. That's how I would fix tailing missions. Which is another reason why I kind of bring up LA Noire, because one of the ways that one kind of got around it was they had the spots where you like grabbed newspapers or whatever, and then they just wouldn't look at you. Also, not helping the not being obvious entailing is the fact that I am in a police car staying exactly 50 yards behind Nick here. Now you're talking. Throw bottles at ya. Man, I love Yakuza 4. Love Yakuza 4 so much. Dog, why are you so slow? Are we like almost there? Are we almost at the art gallery? This has gone on for so long. I hope that's a successful loading screen and not an unsuccessful loading screen. Oh, here's fun music. What? Was that?
We'd all have halos by now if I was driving.
I think someone's putting a curse on all the cars I drive recently.
Agent York, Nick's getting away.
Don't worry, time to get serious. Hold on,
Oh dear. Hey, you know, it's funny because I feel like those two are the only two. Like, Trying to think
Nick
of
here?
other.
George.
I don't like Uncharted
No,
4.
he hasn't showed up here.
What about Diane? Any movement?
There's a 4 I don't like.
No action here at all. Did something happen?
Yes, a little. But George, something's different about you. Are you okay?
Actually, I had a little drink while I was waiting. This is my first murder case, after all. I'm on edge, and I needed one.
Oh,
It was only a
George, your
little, though. I'm
face.
still in control.
Zach, Nick and Diane are probably both inside.
George, you're sure you didn't see Nick?
Positive.
I
haven't
can't
taken
say
my eyes
that
from the
I.
entrance all night.
I have played
Not that I don't
Fortnite
trust you,
like a
George.
couple of months ago
But I'm
with
positive Nick
GBP4A
is here.
people, but we
Is
never
there
won.
another entrance?
Not that I know of.
The only battle royale I've ever won is
Well, I'll
Tetris
go look for
99.
Help me out if you can, would you?
We did get second in Apex Legends once. That was really funny because we just got insanely lucky because the place where we were hiding was just where the circle kept closing in on. And so we just didn't move for like 20 minutes. Hello? George, you seeing this? Now you're talking. Do love me some Fortune Street. Although Fortune Street is like the Fortune Street is not the fourth Fortune Street. It's like the 11 billionth. Fortune Street is a long-running franchise. Oh, Ambies. Stream Sonic Forces. Uh-oh. Don't shoot me. Oh. Can't tell where my cursor is. Ow. Go in here now. If only. Is just infinite dudes gonna spawn, or... Seems like infinite dudes are just gonna spawn. Oh, I can't keep the... I can't hold the onion. Hey, you guys should check out the backyard of the art gallery. It's like nuts in there. Oh, still locked. Oh, this is something. Oh, hello. Ow. Damn. Please put the bat down. Shot. Oh. Oh god. There are many dudes. Hey, it's Nick. Oh. Oh. Like season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Up in here. We're looking for Maximilian Pegasus. Whoa. Hey Emily, did you see all those crazy zombies?
Emily, I want you guys to...
Wait out here, I know. I'm not gonna fight you about this anymore. But promise me this. If there's trouble, then you'll call us in, okay? You might not think so, but we're a team.
A team?
That's what I think, at least, and I'm interested in you and Zach. I don't want anything to happen to you before I hear more about you two.
Right. And
Zach, did you hear that?
really is.
She wants to know more about you. Isn't that a nice surprise? Amazing.
Should save the video. Actually, I probably should. Because, you know, why not? Give me, you know, $20 for being a... $30 for being a daily reporter. I wish I could save my game in real life, and then the FBI is just like, here's $30. That was funny. Got a knife. Oh, there's blood on the ceiling. Nice. That's a cool painting. Spooky hallway.
Huh?
Slip. Oh, are these the ceiling ladies I've heard so much about? Hi. Really is kind of like a bootleg liquor. I just remember back during the endurance run, it's come up that apparently the Brad Ryan run had a bunch of trouble with that fight. And then, like, up here or something, all of a sudden there were just, like, 3 of them. Like, welp. Sugar donut. Whoop. That was the video game freaking out for a second there. And you said this tux was dirty. Almost brand new. I believe it is. Or that's the secret to that fight, is because it's like you only get 1 hit in per phase, like you want to do it with melee because it does so much more damage than a gun.
This is the entrance hall.
Fucked up tree. I like that his lighter has a no smoking sign on it.
You? What are you doing here? So it was you. Much more astonishing than I imagined. I'm impressed.
Diane's impressed. I mean, a mystery lady is impressed. They're not good noises. Not a fan of those noises in the middle there.
Too much noise. We're still missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
Text readable? Absolutely not. Look at that baby. That's adorable. Like I needed to give an apple to the baby. Oh, it's like Death Stranding up in here. Maybe he has green apples, so I want the green apple, I think. I hope. Uh-oh. Guess I also need a red apple somewhere. If I was someone holding a red apple, I'd be over here. Nope, I would not be over here. Okay. Because there was a different hand tree over in the lumber mill. Nope. Boy, this room is getting very purple. Yay, solved the puzzle. I think these zombies are just like way into Bismarck. You got what I need. What you say, he's just a friend. You're growling like there's more dudes. Hey, it's a shotgun. They could also be into Soldier Boy. Gross. Oh, hey, I can probably look at them seeds and get a piece of evidence. You think? Do you think the red seeds are an important clue in solving the case, York? Nope. Oh, excuse me. Come on, York, you can just step through that. That's fine. That's a fancy looking key. Oh, hello. Oh, hello again. I should stop running like around blind corners because I feel like it just doesn't end well. Dudes around all of them. Ah, Miss Stiletto Heels. Stiletto Heel. Oh, get out the way. Thank you. I'm full up on steel pipes. And maximum steel pipes. Wait, this is just... This is back where I started, I think. Oh, there's something over there, though. Fireworks! Oh, can't go here. Oh, hello. Maybe this isn't where I started. Okay. can fix that. York was feeling hungry, so he just ate a bunch of lollipops and a cookie. Uh-oh. Reload! Thanks, York. Okay, well, can't go that way. Can't really go that way. Oop. Or I can... Nope. Let's backtrack, I guess. Nope. Actually, let's look at the map. Oh, the stairs, right. I think that's maybe where it wants me to go. It wants me to go in the basement of the art gallery? He said with a false and misplaced amount of confidence. Yeah. There's a very well hidden door. You think, York? Oops. Pretty sure that man's... Oh, shit. Off. Pretty sure that man's dying message was, "Did I do that?" Which is hilarious. Sealed with a curse! Oh, I love upside down peace signs. Filing starts. The curse of voicing all three main characters of Sonic Underground
What are you doing here?
has locked this door.
So it was you. Much more astonishing than I imagined. I'm impressed. No! Don't! I'm not gonna stop!
Know where that table is. Oh, hey, there's that trapdoor that when I came here in the not Silent Hill dimension, I was like, oh, there's a trapdoor there. You know what? I have 11 billion first aid kit smalls. We're just gonna... Pop off my health. Hey, FBI, I'm in the crazy hell dimension. Can you mark down where I am? Thanks. The hell dimension just take $1 from me. Who is maintaining the phones in the hell dimension? Oh no. Get off. This makes me think of like Shin Megami Tensei 4. How each time you die, like Charon's just like, oh well, you died again. You wanna pay me some money so you can not die? What? Well, I was going to use my steel pipe, but, shit. Ah, so many wall ladies. Oh God, what I need. When you say I'm just a friend. One more, I bet. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Oof, quite a workout climbing this ladder. Actually, I'm gonna shake things up a bit. I want to see what this is. Oh. And a bear. This is a flamethrower. This is a flamethrower. Oh. I'm gonna go back to the submachine. I tried. Oh. Put the lock on this door in between when I got here. Not. How would you do this? I guess that was a different, actually. So that's how they put the lock there. I don't think that first one had thought.
Nick.
Nick, you don't look too good, friend. Huh? Oh, hey Diane.
Agent Morgan, where are you? Answer me! Come on, open up!
George, call for assistance with the body.
Wait! She's still alive.
Oh.
Diane, don't move. Don't move your hands and stay still.
Run in. Oh, Emily.
It's no good. It won't budge.
Emily, stand back.
Why'd the animation get really good in this one scene? Everything looks really smooth for some reason. Oh, George. We're very strong.
George, there's not enough time. George, catch us!
There's still some jank in the faces, but yeah. Spear! God is my witness, she is broken in half. Oh.
Thomas, call an ambulance.
What? What?
Don't shoot the ambulance,
Agent
call
York.
the ambulance.
George, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm too old to be an acrobat, though.
Diane looks okay too.
That's good.
She should be able to tell us who did this to her.
God, I hope so. But you, George, quite a catch. I'm impressed. Hmm?
George?
Hey, Diane.
Diane.
Oh, yeah. What a beautiful beach. The reaching one who veer off into many directions. Combination in sharp voices, slide away into the
Diane, you don't sound too good.
Finding a truly deep eroticism in all
Excuse me?
clear. Every woman will find herself about being penetrated by your sharp voice. This piece of most unimaginable desire.
Diane, do not fuck a tree.
And yet, this is far more than a wooden piece of art. It is a piece of masterpiece by elegant
Diane?
themselves. Come closer. Beg to this beauty.
Hey, Nick.
Diane!
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames.
Back off! Don't touch
Wah! Whoop. George just Judas affected that tree.
Diane, no! Move!
Emily, hurry!
Whoop. That's not gone well. Oh, lordy. I don't think rigor mortis sets in quite like that. Well, you don't look too good.
I requested
Well,
Thomas will need a body bag, too.
oh, hey, look, it's enough. Well, no, that's a right side up piece.
Nick, quiet.
Can you hear that?
Hmm?
Doggy. Happy music.
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow, Zach?
Yes. Follow the dog. Hi, Willie. Dork, don't stand in the blood. Better than this. Yes! Look at this sick dance. Okay, go Willie. Huh? Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, 2 with a live victim at this point. Fireworks. Okay, Willie. I feel like this dog is not... That's true. Oh. Office room. Hey, there's that desk. The raincoat killer guy. Not the raincoat killer. I think we're supposed to know that's the same person. The man with the upside down tree scar. The upside down peace sign scar. Man, I'm just doing a really good job at not saying the right things. Put something in that desk, though? What is it, boy? Diane fall in the well? Oh, hello. Oh, what's over in here? Burke.
Willie, are you out there?
What?
Kaysen, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kaysen, stand away from the door.
This is not what I was expecting the end of this follow the
Where's
dog
Diane?
around the art gallery
And what are
to
you doing
be.
here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now.
You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane. To have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now?
Nick's gonna be unhappy with you.
Before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see?
Why he likes coming to this town, if you know what I'm
no
saying.
Different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here.
Fireworks.
I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out.
I'm gonna tell that lawyer so much.
Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside?
The dog locked the
2
door to give
hours
you an
ago,
alibi.
Me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up.
Didn't George say Nick never showed up?
Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window.
The window down there?
Then you showed up instead of Diane.
Zach, Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the death of Diane really badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art, but he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together, but while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kaysen looks like a prime suspect, but that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room, which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now.
One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed.
I guess this case is really getting to him. He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane.
He did Judas effect that spiky art
rules and confidence away from him. I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
Overwrite the save data, I sure do. It's raining.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel. First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
York, I'm gonna go find a flower for your mom.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
I'm gonna find your flower.
Here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have
Be an alcoholic, says George.
Now that sounds like a good idea.
York's like, hell yes.
Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Oh, let's drink with George, because again, at this point, fast travel doesn't seem quite as important.
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This?
Forget about my scar.
Didn't I tell you?
What about yours?
It's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry.
This mother that I'm going to give a
history.
flower to at some point,
The
maybe.
world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the
It's like,
tree punishment.
like frequency up in
Whip my
here.
back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurts, Mama.
Ah!
I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Why am I giving your mother a
Tree
flower?
punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees.
Something
Keep
weird
asking
about the
myself,
putting lighter away animation, because it
why
looks
she
like
hurt me
it's
this
still on
way?
fire when he sticks it in his
I
pocket.
thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
Law of
But
Mother
now
Nature.
you have
People
the
set
power
off
to protect
fireworks
them.
for the past 3 hours
Right.
on the 4th of July.
Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York.
Me?
I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive.
Shouldn't have Judas
I could've
affected
saved
that
both.
free art.
You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber. And I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems, not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
I don't believe you, first of all.
You've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks.
Especially that guy with the hard hat.
I do feel a little better.
Beer. Carol.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead.
What I just said.
Diane, too. We've got Nick in custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
That's... oh. That is psychic paper. Because he didn't
I'm
show
busy,
the
gotta go.
design to Carol there. Just pull it up. They had this design on it, and then they see whatever they want to see. Lordy. Oh man, it's like the Quiet Man up in here. Jesus. Fireworks. York, I'm trying to hide my erection. It's much harder when you look. That is not the exit. How do I get out? Agent Honor. Yeah, I talked to George. Oh, hey, Carol.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Zach.
Oh,
Emily is already
or
the
Emily.
goddess of the forest.
Is that not a bad thing to be, York?
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to
Get
relax
loose.
and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not.
I feel like she
Pardon
is
me, Emily.
very
I
overdressed
think I'll just call it a night.
for this kind of seedy
George,
bar.
I just got here and you're walking out on me?
Called the Galaxy of
I
Terror.
was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
I don't think that cup is making the right noise, but I mean,
Okay.
Deadly
He
Premonition.
did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him
Yeah, he's
my
a piano
type.
guy.
And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about
Come on,
them.
York.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was
Stocks.
hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't
Are
see
stocks
much
really
of him.
pieces of paper anymore?
My mother?
Are they not all like
Totally
digital?
different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Roar!
I had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, Emily.
York.
Same.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
I feel like this song sounds like another song that I have heard in a weird way. Oh yeah. Definitely Still Raining. Guess we're going back to the hotel? Yeah. Going back to the hotel, and that would probably be a stream from the me. Join us next time for more of this. More Deadly Premonition. More of Your Coming. that cone. Love my typewriter brand typewriter. Gonna be another.
Let's go over our progress. From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed.
He was there when Diane was killed.
Gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
That's right. Diane was still alive.
I mean, what's her
This
face
suggests
was
very
also
little
still
time had
alive.
passed since the crime was
Becky.
committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was somewhere near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance.
And George was also there.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
Quint!
That's right. Casey. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Cason's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Cason up in the basement. Now, what did Cason hear when he was locked up?
Boots. Look at that Willy art.
Sound of boots.
That's adorable.
Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious.
So Nick went from the bar to go to Diane to be like, "Oh, Diane, let's go to the bar."
Nick is our serial killer?
No, not really.
Me too. Usha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer. Remaining leads. There is the locket, which is in Carol's possession.
Jesus.
The man with the tattooed back.
It's so loud.
The upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
I don't know if that's coming out on stream, but that is very loud. Maybe.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Good. My friends call me York. I guess everyone calls me York. Friends call me Coach. Hey, Emily.
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
How'd you get here? You drunk?
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly, and baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones.
Ouch.
I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them.
There.
One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did.
Somehow doubt that.
Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
How about that scar?
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
She's right there.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
There.
A long time ago. Back when I was a child.
Oh, look at the baby York.
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist.
Harsh.
Even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends. I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things. This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Rude. Rude as heck,
Maybe
York.
hopeless, but not useless.
Zach.
Do you think Emily got home safely?
Laying on the bed with your shoes
Anyway,
on.
I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember our conversation with Emily? She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
Hey.
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Thomas! Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. 1 second. Hate it in here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there! Come on, please! Thomas! 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 Thomas!
Thomas! Oh, gotta cut that off the loading screen. They're all sad. Excuse me? Feeling lady. Probably. I remember back at the start where I was like, oh yeah, this is probably be a shorter stream than normal, and then oops. We're gonna get through these cutscenes and then we know. I know what happened. It's fine. Oh. Tea break. I'd go for a tea break. Lordy. Not that one. Oh, wait. Oh. Hey! That's a good joke. Ah! Who are you?
Open this door. There is no turning back. You still want to enter?
Also, why does your nose have,
I do.
no
Better than staying
nostrils?
Very well then. Off you go.
York.
Look carefully, boy. At times, we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means...
I didn't realize that was on the 2020 wish list. Ah. Baseball. It's okay, girl. The picture just broke because of the fireworks happening. Same. Sale.
Mr. Morgan, do you want a refill?
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Is the coffee that good, Mr. Morgan?
Coffee is a vital investigative tool. I know exactly.
I'm very particular about my coffee.
It says to hurry, and the first letter of each line is H-A-R-R-Y. Hurry to Harry. Looks like the time that he was talking about has come. Let's go pay the problematic rich boy who owns half of the town a visit. Polly, I think I'm going to go see Harry today.
Oh, really? He's a little strange, but I think he's the most trustworthy one around here.
Got a weird gas mask.
I think you'll have fun with him.
If you say so, Polly, then we probably will.
Of course. Now, give me your cup, and I'll give you some
No.
more coffee.
My cup. Oh, my tie is clipping
I'll see
through
you
my
later,
tie.
Polly.
Bye, York.
Mr. Morgan, what about the coffee? Don't you want a refill? Your coffee!
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my room here. Save the video game. You're probably right. Or Keith. Keith would never lie to me. He's bopping too hard to lie to me. Alright. That'll do it for today. Join us next time. We continue The Deadly Premonition. Night, everybody.